Hey, I'm Megan. I'm a pastry chef here in Boston, and I'm going to show you how to make my famous strawberry shortcake. The first step in making the strawberry shortcake is to macerate your strawberries. In this bowl, I've got about a pound of strawberries that I've already washed and quartered, and to them, I've added about a quarter cup of granulated sugar and a few splashes of Grand Marnier. If you don't have Grand Marnier, it's fine. You can use any orange flavored liqueur you have on hand. It's really important that you do this first because these flavors really need time to meld together so that they can come out. So mix everything up, put this bowl aside, and let them mix, mingle, and get to know each other. The next step is the white chocolate mousse. In this bowl, I've already made a white chocolate ganache. I used a half a pound of good quality white chocolate. I prefer Calabo for this recipe, and I've added in about 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. You can either bring it to a simmer on the stove or do what I do, pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're good. I've also added in 2 gelatin sheets that I've softened. Now, these are gelatin sheets. If you don't have them, you can substitute powdered gelatin, but nowadays I think gelatin sheets can be found at most specialty food stores. What you do with them is you soak them in an ice bath for about 5 minutes, and they get soft. You just basically wring them out and add them to your hot liquid, and they dissolve. Once your ganache is completely cool, I'm gonna fold in a cup of whipped cream that I brought to a soft peak. You wanna make sure you don't over whip your cream, because it's gonna be really hard to fold in. So I just start with 1 scoop and mix it in just to lighten the mixture. Now when you're folding it in, if you have over whipped your cream a little and you have a lump, it's all right. Just whisk it because nobody wants to eat lumpy mousse. And once this is all combined in here, I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. I would prefer to let it sit in the fridge overnight to set up, but if you only have a few hours, you'll be fine. So the next step in the strawberry shortcake is to make the brown sugar pecan cake. So in the mixer, I've got 1 1/2 sticks of unsalted butter and 1 1/2 cups of light brown sugar that I've been creaming. You want to make sure that you start with room temperature butter. Once this gets light and fluffy, I'm going to add our 2 eggs. You want to add them one at a time and make sure each is fully incorporated. Once the eggs have gone in, I like to give the bowl a good scrape down just to make sure that anything that may have gotten stuck at the bottom of the bowl gets fully incorporated into the batter. Once this looks like it's fully combined, I'm going to start adding our dry and our wet ingredients. For dries, I've got 2 cups of cake flour that I've already sifted. And I've also added 2 teaspoons of baking powder and about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You always want to start with your dry ingredients and end with your dry ingredients. I also have a cup of milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You want to be careful when you're adding your dry and your wet ingredients that you don't overmix your batter. That's going to leave air pockets in your cake, which are called tunneling, and that's just going to dry your cake out and make it really crumbly, and nobody wants to eat dry cake, so don't overmix it. Alright, so once this is all incorporated, I'm going to pop this off the mixer. You want to give everything a really good scrape down at this point. Make sure everything is combined. And now I'm going to fold in about a cup of pecans that I previously toasted, cooled, and chopped. You want to make sure they're completely cool at this point. Just gently fold them. And our batter is done. Now we're going to fill our muffin pans. I don't use cupcake liners for this recipe. Just use pan spray. A little goes a long way. You don't want to be eating pan spray. And I also use an ice cream scoop, so we have perfectly sized portions. You want to fill them about 3/4 of the way. You don't want muffin top here. And once these are all filled, I'm going to pop them in a 350-degree oven. They're going to take about 18 to 20 minutes. You want to rotate them once halfway through, and you'll know they're done. They're going to get a beautiful golden color, and they're going to spring back to the touch. All right, now I'm going to show you how to assemble this fabulous confection. So here I have 2 cooled brown sugar pecan cakes. I'm going to start with one on the plate, and then I'm going to fill a bag with white chocolate mousse. I have a pastry bag with a little star tip. If you don't have a pastry bag, it's okay. You can use a Ziploc bag, just snip the corner off. If you don't want to be bothered with the pastry bag, just spoon it on, it all tastes the same. So I'm going to pipe a ring around the edge of our cake. And now this is the point where we go back to the strawberries and you want to taste them. So I'm just going to try one. And this is where you're going to balance out the flavors. I think it could use a little more sugar. And if you're questioning if you need any more Grand Marnier, my rule of thumb is always add another splash of booze for luck. So once you've got this all mixed up, just going to get a nice spoon of them. You want to make sure you get the juices as well. And just fill them in the center like a little well. I'm going to pipe another bit of mousse on top of that. And we're going to finish with our second cake right on top. And put a little more on top just because I want it to look pretty. And I'm going to spoon some sauce. A few berries. You can put some on the plate just to dress it up a little. And to finish it off, I'm going to garnish it with some toasted pecans that I've reserved, just to zhuzh up the plate a bit. And that's it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.